Hey, 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 chickadees. Are you confused? If you're confused, you're going to want to see this episode. All right, so come on in and join us. Welcome in. So today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not actually going to pull cards. I'm not going to shuffle decks. The cards have already been pulled. We are continuing our theme of listening to understand. And my guides this morning, as I was doing my own oracle readings, I pulled 2 cards every morning. They said, this is it for your topic today. So, okay. I said, really? Because that's what I do. Like, are you serious? And they're like, yes, we're serious. So, okay. All right. So here we are. So I pulled this morning out of 2 separate decks. So the first deck is the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, my future, part of my future BFF posse. So, and then the second card that was pulled was out of the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Linn. These are both wonderful decks. They're relatively new to me. I've had them for, I don't know, a couple months, maybe a month, probably just a month. So, and so I take them into my morning practice to get very familiar with the decks and explore them and create that connection with them usually before I bring them out for you all. So I have about, I think 26, maybe more decks now, way too many. So I guess maybe I have a problem. However, they all talk differently. So anyway, so I'm getting to know a lot of them, and you'll see them show up here in the course of the next, well, certainly over 2026. So, all right. So this morning, to give you some perspective, I'm also exploring the listening to understand, and personally for me, spiritually. And one of the aspects around this that I'm exploring is I'm going to say history of self-abandonment. And when I say history, I'm not necessarily talking about this lifetime. I'm talking about millennia of lifetimes. And so there's a theme right now that I'm exploring in my own practice, which is, where do I betray myself and where do I abandon myself? So, and it's all in an effort to really step into my authenticity in a way that I have not yet done that, even though I like to think I'm very authentic. I don't know, you all be the judge. I feel like I am. And yet there's more layers of the onion to peel. So that's what I'm exploring in my practice today, the listening to understand, but also specifically around self-betrayal and where I might have self-abandonment history. So this is the whole session today is essentially a confessional. so which is why when the guide said you're going to do this today, I'm like, are you serious? Like, yes, we wouldn't tell you if we weren't serious, Molly. So all right, but as you know, I'm very sassy with my guides too. So although I love them and I'm very, very close to them, and I absolutely trust them after I question them. So it's more of a sass aspect to me than anything else. So, all right. So the 2 cards that were pulled this morning, and the guides were like, "Yep, this is for everybody. This is for you, Molly, and you get to confess this to everybody, and maybe somebody else, the other, your viewers will get some good info out of this." So the 2 cards that were pulled this morning were, the one that came out of the Goddess Power was the Iris card, the Goddess Iris. Iris is the goddess of communication in this context. So that's what she is representing. And so that's out of the Goddess Power Oracle. And then out of the Sacred Destiny Oracle was pulled the card truth. Okay, so here are the two cards, and I'm going to talk about these individually. So here are the two cards. Now, here's what's interesting is Goddess power is actually in the alignment message. So these have alignment messages, and in addition to empowerment and oracle messages. So this was in the reverse. So this is the alignment message for Iris. Okay. Now I'm going to show her in the upright position just so you can kind of see the detail of the card. And then I will pull that image off and then put it in the reverse like this and put it back up during the conversation. Okay, so these were the two cards that were pulled. And so I pull the two cards and then I go into meditation about, okay, what is it? What is the guidance that I am to receive from these cards today around the topic that I'm exploring? And here's where it gets interesting. So with Iris, the communication card in the reverse, what my guides were telling me was, and I'm gonna, some of these notes, I journal every morning when I do this, so I'm gonna be reading some of the notes that I have down. So this is essentially the guidance I'm being given by my guides in meditation. So they are telling us, I'm gonna say us because they want me to bring this to you, that card, the Iris communication card, is asking us to be clear in our communication with ourselves and with others, and to demand clarity from others, including our guides. So when our guides are not clear, we get to ask them, hey, can you slow down? Can you repeat that? Can you really help me make sure I understand? So this is all part of listening to understand. Okay, listening to our guides, making sure we understand them, listening to others, making sure we understand them as well, and listening to ourselves and our intuition. So be clear and demand clarity from others. The other thing that they're saying, and I think this came pretty much out of the book, and they were like, yes, 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 was that this is not the time for confusion. Confusion's a big issue for me. That really hit for me, for playing games, either with others, with yourself, or having games played with you by others, coercion, manipulation, or anything else other than clarity. Okay? We deserve the best in our relationships. Okay? And our relationships that are most important to us and our future will be revealed as you demand clarity. Now, I'm going to give you here's why this rang so true with me. And I've got a couple of examples that I'm going to give you. I had a situation not too long, it was early last year, where it was in a work environment, and I had someone demanding time of me. Now I run my company, so there's that. But I had someone in my company that was demanding time from me. And the demand that they were making, when I acquiesced to it because I felt there was truly an emergency, and that I wanted to make sure that the situation was okay, what I realized that was happening is that individual was actually channeling to me an entity that did not align with where I was. So we had a misalignment. That was my first clue. The second clue is that it left me very confused. And that's where that conversation should have ended, in retrospect. So this is what I've learned. So I'm grateful that happened, because it really helped me learn that confusion is the answer. So if you're confused, seek clarity, right? So if you seek clarity and you're still confused, that's your answer. And when this whole conversation with this individual really threw me, I was very new to understanding how the spirit world works, and I did not really realize what was truly going on. I had some idea of what I thought was going on, was not what was really going on. And so I worked with one of my medium coaches who asked me that question, like, did the conversation and the engagement with that person leave you clear or confused? And my answer was immediate, confused. I was confused. And my coach said, that's your answer. And that, thank you. You know who you are. And I think you're a subscriber to the channel. You know who you are, and thank you for that, because that has actually not just given me clarity on that situation, but it is guiding a lot of what I'll take forward in my life. So I really appreciate that situation for coming up. I appreciate learning that confusion is the issue, right? It's also the signal. And so if you have confusion in your communication and that other person is not willing to meet you at that confusion and help you get clear on what they're trying to communicate with you, or if it's an entity or anything else, that's your sign. So here's the thing. I had another situation come up during the year where I was communicating with an individual, and it was like every communication, I was confused. Not everyone, but a lot of them. I was left confused. I was confused about what this other person was feeling, going through, how they approached not just our friendship, but all relationships, what they were really experiencing and how I might be able to help them. Like, I just had general confusion most of the times I was interacting with this person. Now, this happened after I had gotten clarity about the spirit world. For some reason, maybe I was dense, but I wasn't translating. I wasn't dense. I was learning. I was not translating the lesson I had learned from the first engagement with the spirit world to my personal engagements and relationships. And it took me quite some time to realize that I should be applying that to all relationships, relationships with the spirit world and the information I'm receiving from the spirit world, as well as interpersonal relationships. So that is why this card is so important to me today, and why my guides are saying this is actually for everyone in the community, because we deserve clarity. And what we're going to learn is that our futures and the people and the relationships that are most important to us are going to give us that clarity. They're going to understand the importance of clarity for you. Okay? They're also going to understand the importance of clarity for them, and they're going to ask for it when they don't have it. And so when I look across my friendships, we'll just say, so my relationship with Tina, we have clarity. So we work hard on that. But when I look across my friendships over the course of my life, I can see where the friendships where I had clarity, or I could get clear and we could have those conversations to make sure I understood, were the ones that stuck. And the ones that didn't have clarity didn't stick for me. So I'm just sharing that with you. That's the communication card. All right, so let's go to the truth card. So this is the card that came out of the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And this one is very interesting, because what my guides were saying is make sure you are understanding your truth. That is what this card is about. You find your truth in stillness and in silence. You only find it by listening to yourself. Okay? However, and I'm going to look at my notes from my meditation, my journal. Once you find it, once you find your truth and you have what I call your true north, let go of everything else. Let it all go. Okay? Because if it's not authentic and it's not supporting your true north, it's in your way. So if we're going to follow our truth and we're going to live in clarity and listen to understand, it means that we have to be in action too. So listening to understand and understanding our truth means we let go of everything that is not authentic for us. This includes not just stuff in your house, right? They've been talking to me about cleaning up the house, going through and kind of doing, kind of the clean out that needs to happen to make room for more and for what's next, energetically and otherwise. And relationships. And this is where it gets hard, because a lot of us, if you're like me and you're a deep empath and you really feel everything, you don't want to let people down and you don't want to hurt people, because you know what that feels like, because you carry that and you see that and you feel that. You shouldn't actually carry it. I said you carry it because we do, until we learn to let it go. Okay, and that's a big thing I've been learning over the course of the last couple of months. It's made a huge life-changing difference for me, letting those things go that are not mine. So we let go of everything that's not authentic to us. Now, we just talked about communication, and I just mentioned this includes relationships, and it does. Those relationships that are not in alignment with you and are not allowing you to be your authentic self, those are the ones that we get to take a hard look at and make some very difficult decisions about, potentially. Sometimes it's just letting the situation dissolve naturally, like it might be on its way to doing, and just allowing that to happen. And in other cases, it might be a little bit more emotionally charged. But we get to let those go, okay? So we also, and this is where the exploration of self-abandonment and self-betrayal comes in, is that once we know what our true north is, we must continually listen to that authentic voice. The authentic voice that's telling us what our true north is, what is authentic for us, what feeds us, and what is not skillful for us. Okay, so we're going to listen to understand where we are at in alignment with our true north, our authentic self. And what my guides were telling me this morning is that confusion is not truth. I'm going to say it again. Confusion is not truth. So if you're confused, and you seek clarity and you don't get clarity, that's your indicator. Okay? So it's the indicator that you're out of alignment with your own authenticity, right? It's not necessarily the indicator to just run the other direction, but it's the indicator to really deeply listen and understand what's happening in that situation or relationship, so that you can make a decision based solely on discernment and alignment with who you are. So, heavy topic today, yowza. Yeah, and these are the things that I explore. It's just a morning. But these are the things that I explore, and I found this one really, truly, deeply, deeply resonating. So let me know in the comments if this is ringing with you, and please hit like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber of this channel, we would love to have you join our community. We're trying to grow the channel. If we grow it enough, then we'll start. We'll be able to turn on some of the community features that YouTube offers and other venues offer. So we are looking to do that and grow. So please subscribe, hit like, tell us what you're thinking, how this is ringing with you, and what questions you might have, because we do want to get those answered. All right, chickadees, I love you. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time. Mwah.